Okay, so after this video, I think I can go like full on playoffs mode, but the Westbrook trade rumors have begun a little bit. To state the obvious, I think any Westbrook trade rumor implies that it's either a buyout once he gets to the new team or he just does a John Wall and doesn't play. And when I say a buyout, I'm not saying a stretch. I'm saying something similar to what Kemba had with OKC, where they bought him out, but his contract did not lengthen. It was the same amount of years. So for another team, it would be an expiring, right? Of course, Westbrook has to agree to all of this, whether it's a hey, Russ, go home or we're going to buy you out sort of thing. When the Westbrook Hornets thing was first introduced by Mark Stein, there was a lot of wait a minute, Westbrook playing with LaMelo, how does that work? I don't think that would ever be the plan. And of course, besides the cap space, the main thing here is what future picks are the Lakers willing to move and how highly would teams view those picks that are around, 2027, I believe? As far as the two teams suggested, the Pacers by Shams and the Hornets by Mark Stein, I gotta be honest, I don't buy the Pacers one at all. I don't think it's in Indiana's DNA to trade somebody like Malcolm Brogdon for a break on the money and then a draft pick like 5 years from now. Because the Pacers are not a big free agency team anyway, so I think they would prefer to be like, well, if we're going to trade Brogdon, we want something that helps us out now, whether that's a pick for like this upcoming draft or maybe two drafts from now at the most, a young player or multiple young players we feel okay about, something like that, you know? And as for Charlotte, I mean, there is actually a window with which if Hayward was traded for Westbrook and then Westbrook was not on the team after this season, they would have cap space even with Bridges and PJ Washington having new contracts, and then LaMelo's max would kick in the next season. But similar to the Pacers, it's like, should the Hornets really be doing the trade good player for cap space thing? I mean, maybe you just really, really love whatever picks you could get from the Lakers in the distant future. If the Lakers are going to be that desperate to move those things, we'll see. But Charlotte could also view Hayward as their own expiring that they can move after next season or maybe midway into next season to get themselves something right now, possibly re-signing Hayward to a cheaper contract if you wanted to hang on to him. That's, I guess, on the table as well. The other thing is Rozier, because he was mentioned a little bit in the Hornets thing. So it is a pretty long contract. If you were just that desperate to get off of it, then could you go with the Russ deal? Sure, but it's also like, is it really the best you're going to get? Also, Kelly Oubre would have to be in either one of those to make the money work. But yeah, those are my thoughts on those initial reports. Then you start moving on to the other teams who have been talked about. I don't know if there's like real sources on it. It's more so just conversation on the internet as opposed to like your barbershop. I don't know. One is the Rockets. That one's pretty obvious. It's the John Wall Westbrook thing. Should the Lakers give up a distant first for John Wall, who has played in either a half season or no season since like 2018, I believe? I assume the Rockets would be down to get a pick for John Wall, who is not playing for them. And Westbrook is under the same amount of money and time and all that as John Wall is. The other one is the Knicks, and that one is mainly just we really want to get off of Julius Randle's contract and nobody else will take him, so we get Westbrook and then again, it's either a buyout or he's just not playing at all. He'd have to agree to this. Maybe Fournier's in there as well, and you just really go for a salary teardown. That one is similar to the Rozier one, where it's like they would just have to be completely out on Randall with no possibility of them getting him back up to, like, not 2 years ago, but better than this previous season. And again, it would also have to be the best offer you could get. You can look at some of the overpaid guys in the league, like Tobias Harris makes too much money. Don't think that's going to happen. I doubt the Wizards are going to ditch Porzingis in one offseason. They want to see him with Bradley Beal, I imagine. And then you're kind of just searching for more niche stuff where it's like, oh, does a team have a couple of contracts they don't really love? And you quickly start grasping at straws for something. And, well, I don't know. But hey, it only takes one team. And we've been saying Westbrook is untradeable for a minute. And he's been traded multiple times. So we'll see. I guess while I'm here, I can address the Lakers coaching thing for half a second. I don't know what the hell that Nick Nurse report was. Nick Nurse is not going to be the coach of the Lakers next season. And besides that, I mean, I saw Doc Rivers talked about a little bit. Like, that is your classic sort of we need a guy type of a coach hire where is he better than most of the candidates available? Yeah. Are you doing backflips? No. Of course, how Philly's season ends will dictate a lot of what happens with Doc. And I also just think about, like, what is the best version of a LeBron AD team. Like, I understand that the offense was a chore to look at times throughout even their championship run, where it's a lot of LeBron dribbling the air out of the ball and AD trying to post up on a pretty cramped floor, but maybe that's just the best version, you know? Having those two lean on defense, getting a big who can help out with rim protection, and yeah, you're going to be huge, and sometimes the spacing is going to be bad, but other teams can't score on you, and then the perimeter defense has to be good as well. I mean, if you just lean all the way into defense and hopefully just have enough shooting, maybe that's the best version of this whole thing. I mean, can a Westbrook trade begin the process of that? The odds do not look great, but hey, who knows, man?